Hey, shut the door. Come back here. Come back here.
What's going on?
Hey, pulled you over. Take your hands out of your pockets.
Okay.
Pulled you over today.
Okay.
Because you have a suspended driver's license. I ran your tags.
Okay.
And I found that the registered owner was
Y'all think you do exempt
license and registered owner.
You say what?
Take your hands out of your pockets,
Okay.
please.
Okay. No.
I ran your tags.
Okay. I understand that. But don't put your hands on me.
Don't reach your hand.
Okay.
Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Just settle down. Yeah, we're allowed to. Why?
No, you're not.
You want me to explain your life?
I know that you cannot do that.
You want me to explain to you why?
You cannot do that, sir. Why do you need my keys? Why do you need my keys?
You're about to catch a criminal charge. Why? Because you're detained for a traffic offense and you're not allowed to leave. You're under arrest for driving on a suspended driver's license.
That's not a criminal offense.
It's a traffic offense.
It's a traffic offense, not a criminal offense.
It's a criminal offense. It's a misdemeanor in State Arkansas.
No, that's not a misdemeanor.
Okay. So just lean against this. Do it. We don't have to
That's
come.
not a misdemeanor.
Okay. Well, quit. Tighten it up.
I'm not tightening up.
Okay. You're about to find your way in a set of handcuffs. Okay. Just settle down.
Okay.
Just settle down.
Okay. Am I being detained? Yes.
You're under arrest.
What's your RAS?
What is RAS?
Reasonable suspicion of driving on suspended license, Charles.
That's illegal. You can't do that.
This dude clearly needs to calm down because he's so worked up. He's going to make things worse for himself. Just calm down a bit, sir, and let the officers explain to you what's going on.
That's not even. Yes, it is. Because you have to. It's a traffic offense before you conduct the traffic stop.
Hey, don't argue with silly stuff. I'm not going to argue with silly stuff.
See you there.
Okay. Mr. Terry.
Yes. So what? Okay. So y'all are arresting me for suspended driver license that I don't have.
Come here. Walk right over here. Okay. So that's you.
1649.
Okay, you got behind my car.
Suspended.
Okay, I'm suspended. I didn't. Okay, you're saying I'm suspended.
Yeah,
but I haven't did anything criminal.
So I ran your license plate.
But that's not criminal.
I ran your license. It's a misdemeanor in the state of Arkansas.
It's not criminal, man.
Okay, well, I'm not going to argue this.
I studied law for 10 years. That's not criminal.
All right, well, right now you're under arrest for driving on a suspended driver's license. And I'm not going to have this silly argument anymore, okay?
First and foremost, sir, if you have studied law for 10 years, then you should know that you shouldn't be driving around with a suspended driver's license. Number one. Number two, what does you studying law for 10 years have to do with anything? These officers still have to do their job. They have to protect people on the road from idiots like you who are driving around with a suspended license.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out what is all this about.
Well, I've told you 15 times.
Okay, can I call my wife?
No, you cannot. I'm going to put this right on my seat, okay? Is there anything in your car that can get you in trouble? Any weapons? No, I'm towing your vehicle per departmental policy. No, you can't. Go back over there, please.
He's going to drive my car. He said he's going to drive my car back.
He cannot?
Why not?
Because per department policy, I have to tow your vehicle.
Why? I mean, y'all just towing my car?
Enter 605. Start me another unit over here, please. Yeah, I'll get you a supervisor.
Can I get a supervisor? I don't want to talk to a supervisor because I don't understand it.
6416, Colonel Glenn. The coin laundromat. Your presence is being requested, sir.
That doesn't make any sense. Y'all just jump behind my car. Y'all jump behind my car.
So you have no reasonable expectation of privacy.
Run my car for no reason. Y'all had no problem with this. You know what that case is? That case is just for your court to throw me in handcuffs.
I'll explain it to you about 15 times, Charles. Continue. So right now, per departmental policy, I'm taking inventory search and tow your car. He's not a felon. I don't know why he's tripping about that. He's a felon? Do y'all know him by chance? Okay. So I ran his license plate, which you have no reasonable expectation of privacy of your license plate. We don't have to have a reason to run your license plate. We found that the registered owner of this vehicle has a suspended driver's license. We saw him in the car, pulled him over, and he jumped out immediately and started arguing with us, talking about how he studied law, which, cool, I hope he did. That's great. But it's an unclassified misdemeanor in the state of Arkansas to drive on a suspended driver's license. That's why he was put in handcuffs. He was tensing up. So to avoid a fight, we went ahead and put him in handcuffs because that's where that was
Told
going.
him he was being arrested.
Yes, for driving on suspended driver's license.
You're arresting him for a misdemeanor?
And then, so per my departmental policy,
Freedom is rights, though, when you're arrested.
Schindler. Okay, let's just.
You guys. It doesn't matter. I paid them to do their job. I'm a taxpayer.
And we just got a gun from a convicted felon.
Okay.
Okay. She's telling me he's under arrest. She's telling me he's under arrest for having a gun.
Oh, I mentioned the
Hey, Mr. Terry.
Yeah.
Don't kick your feet out.
I'm not.
Hey, my supervisor's on the way.
Yeah, but y'all pulled me up for no reason, man.
Pulled you over because you're driving on suspended
Y'all
license.
pulled me up for that's no reason. You can't do that, man.
Okay, well, right now you're under arrest for possession of a firearm by certain persons because you're a convicted felon. There's a gun underneath your seat, and you're the only person in the car.
Okay, but I'm not worried about that because that gun's registered to my wife, so I'm not worried about it.
Guns aren't registered in the state of Arkansas.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not. You're incorrect.
That's her gun. It belongs to
Hey,
her.
so let's just quit this back and forth, and let's just take it in court.
I'm not worried about it, man.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
You seem pretty worried about it.
Yeah.
The guy in custody. So we stopped, we're in his tags, found the registered owner, and his suspended driver's license. Conducted a stop on that PC. As we're pulling in, what we see is the back and he immediately jumps out, locks the door. He's put his hands in his pockets. I told him once, okay, take your hands out of your pockets. He does it again. Brandon grabs his arm, and we're going back and forth about how he's not under arrest and studied law for 10. He's being super ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Acting like he has something in the car. Going back and forth how he studied law for 10 years. Tell me that driving on suspended is not a misdemeanor. It is. He keeps tension up. We go ahead and cuff him. Tell him he's under arrest for driving on suspended driver's license. Identify him. I'm going to put his vehicle per department policy. Tell him that per department policy and Supreme Court case law, I'm going to conduct a inventory search of the car. I didn't say Supreme Court case law to him, but both you and I know it. So I'm going to conduct an inventory search. Look inside. Look underneath the seat where valuable things such as firearms are usually kept. So doing an inventory search and there's a gun, and he is a convicted felon. So he's under arrest for possession of firearm by certain persons. So he is in the backseat of the car. He has not been thoroughly searched yet. So let's go ahead and do that. Hey, Brandon, let's go ahead and get a real search on this guy.
You the sergeant? Yes, sir. Okay. What's your name, sir? I'm Charles Hunt. Charles Hunt? H-U-N-T? Hunt. Okay. Your officers, I know you see farther than them because we're going to the Supreme Court. I hope you know that. I told them I'm studying law for 10 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. There's no way these guys could have known that was me in the car. Okay. The full joke. They had no RS. Okay.
Go ahead and take a seat for me.
Reasonable articulate suspicion. They had none because they didn't know who was in the car. My wife could have been in the car. For all they knew. So that's why I'm taking y'all to the Supreme Court. Okay. And I'm going to get $1 million for every day I sit in jail.
Okay, well, you just gained another charge.
So off the rip, this dude is going to take it to the Supreme Court. He doesn't even know the outcome of what's going to happen yet, but off the rip, he's already threatening to take things to the Supreme Court, which is ridiculous. Sir, what if you actually beat these charges, yet you're threatening to take things to the Supreme Court? How ridiculous. And now you're threatening to sue for $1 million per day that you sit in jail? This man is absolutely delusional.
Attempt to influence. You just gained another charge. Attempt to influence law enforcement.
No, I'm not.
Congratulations. Kansas versus Glover is the United States Supreme Court case that clarifies that a vehicle return. Say it again, sir. No, it has not. No, it has.
No, it is not.
Okay. So what?
Well, we're not going to the U.S. Supreme Court because they're not going to rehear the case they just judged on in 2020.
So, Mr. Glover,
I'll get a free flight out of it. I'll see you there.
Mr. Glover, are you aware which Supreme Court case says I'm allowed to conduct an inventory search of your vehicle? Because I'm pretty sure you just said overturned just to disagree with me. Because that's quite obviously not true.
Overturned.
Let's take a quick look at Kansas v. Glover and see if it has been overturned like this man just stated.
As far as Kansas v. Glover, that wasn't overturned. It was a 2019 case where a circuit court in Kansas found that an officer could pull over a vehicle on the public roadway if the registration came back to an invalid driver. The district court overturned the circuit court, the appellate court overturned the district court, the Kansas Supreme Court overturned the appellate court, and the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the Kansas Supreme Court and held that pulling over a car because the license plate comes back to an invalid driver's license is reasonable and not a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
All right. So what is the what is the paramount pillar of Fourth Amendment involving law enforcement? What Supreme Court case?
I'm not going to discuss this with you.
Okay.
Well, I discussed that.
No.
I plead the fifth.
That's fine. I was just trying to help you understand, that's all.
No, you can't help me understand.
Come over here, please.
You understand. Y'all still on the codes.
What code?
Y'all are.
What codes?
You know what code.
No, I actually, that is a legitimate question. What code? Like criminal code? Is that what you're talking about?
It's color of law.
Well, yeah. Everything I've done today has been well within the color of law.
Color of law. It's not. The color of law is not law, then you know.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's not color of law, you know it's not law.
Where'd you study law?
Don't worry about all that, man.
Okay.
All that doesn't matter.
Google. That's where he started from.
No.
So, law, the contract you said.
Well, it is a contract, right?
Sure, but it's required by law to have that driver's license. And yours has been suspended. Correct. Which is a misdemeanor offense in the state of Arkansas, which is why you were taken into custody. So I was trying to explain to you, we could have avoided all of that arguing back and forth if you would just, Yes. And then, for my departmental policy, if somebody is driving on a suspended driver's license, I have to tow their vehicle. I'm not allowed to let somebody come get it. I have to tow it. And per the United States Supreme Court case law, South Dakota versus Opperman, I can conduct an inventory search of your vehicle prior to towing it. While conducting an inventory search of your vehicle, discovered a firearm underneath your driver's seat. When we ran you an ACIC, when we checked to see if your license was valid, we saw that you were a convicted felon. And you're in possession of a firearm, which is a felony offense in the state of Arkansas.
Now, what I don't get about this constitutional law scholar is when leaving his house, he knew that his license was suspended. Knowing that, he still jumps in the car and proceeds to drive around with a firearm, knowing that he's a convicted felon. Like, why in the doohickey would you do that? These officers clearly know what they're doing, and now they are just making a complete fool of this man for saying that he studied the law for 10 years, because these officers clearly know their law and clearly know that they're well within their duties to do what they just did to him.
So just so you're aware of everything you're being charged with, possession of a firearm by certain persons. No, you do though. I'm a police officer.
I'm trying to figure out, like, you're trying to tell me, you're trying to speak legalese to me. I'm like, dude, that's not even registered because there's certain things you don't even understand.
You're being charged with possession of a firearm by certain persons, attempt to influence a law enforcement officer, driving on a suspended license, and driving a vehicle with improper window tint. Because the front right passenger window on your vehicle tested to have 4% light level transmission. In the state of Arkansas, the windows to the left and right of the driver are required to have 25% or greater light transmission level. Also, upon checking you in ACIC, we discovered you had a failure to pay warrant at a Little Rock traffic court. So you're being charged with one count of failure to pay. And then you had 2 additional warrants at a Little Rock environmental court for failure to appear. Those warrants are LR21-422 and LR20-4168. So you're being charged with 2 counts of failure to appear out of Little Rock Environmental Court.
Okay.
Say it again, sir.
I had a cold down pat.
Yep. I'm expected to. It's my job. Well, tell me how I'm wrong since you're so smart. Tell me how I'm wrong. Yes, please. What did I do wrong? So I can, you studied law for 10 years, so I can do it right the next time. Let me. Okay.
Y'all let me do it right now.
Can you tell me about Terry versus Ohio? What about Pennsylvania versus Mims?
Versus Murdoch?
Mims.
Versus Murdoch?
Yeah, what about Illinois versus Wardlow?
No speaking license.
What about Maryland versus Wilson?
License going on.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm asking. Well, you studied law for 10 years.
You'll get there one day.
No, I'm saying.
So you studied law for 10 years.
No, I'm saying. I thought you said Murdoch versus King.
I didn't. I said Pennsylvania versus Mims.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
What about Terry versus Ohio? You know that one?
Terry versus Ohio.
Yes, sir.
What does it say?
Well, I'm asking you. You studied law for 10 years. You would know that.
What does it say?
I'm asking you.
Because you're the one telling us we don't know anything. So we're just trying to see if you got anything.
Okay.
This is hilarious. The man that made the assertion that these officers didn't know law, yet he studied law for 10 years, now that the officers are now toying with him and asking them about these different Supreme Court cases, he hasn't a clue of what they're talking about. These officers are making this man look very silly, and it is quite hilarious.
So where'd you study law?
You haven't been paying your you said Murdoch?
Well, that's one thing we do disagree with is taxes.
Y'all have a business card?
A business card? No, sir.
Nope.
I'm not a business.
City does not give us
Got the codes on all the law.
Yes, sir.
every single day.
Expect you to. It's my job.
The plates just show up on hot sheets, so that one did.
I'm not supposed to, but I know there's the third or second one that we stopped, and it's on there, but it's their car, so I don't know.
Say it again, sir.
Everything is on the Admiralty and Maritime. Just remember that.
Maritime?
He's a sovereign citizen. He just doesn't know.
We're like boats?
He's a sovereign citizen. He just doesn't know himself. Where he want to be. One or the other.
I totally agree with the officer. This man is clearly a sovereign citizen, and maybe he just doesn't know it yet, but he's clearly touching on many of the sovereign citizen talking points, and he is making a complete fool of himself. He just needs to be quiet and go to jail. That's it.
Okay.
So the reason he's saying that is because everything you were saying is consistent with what sovereign citizens say. That's all. Say it again.
That don't even make sense, man.
Nothing you have said in the past hour has made sense.
I'm trying to figure out my officer of the law trying to spit legalese at me.
I'm not spitting legalese. I'm spitting facts.
Why don't you practice? Why don't you make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year?
In all seriousness, you should. If you do have a law degree, you
You're
should.
a little smart. Why not?
You really should. Go be a lawyer.
Be a lawyer?
Yeah.
You think I should be a lawyer?
Yeah. If you have a law degree, why not?
So why wouldn't you make the money off of it?
In all seriousness, like, all jokes aside, if you really do have a law degree, go be a lawyer. It's great money. It really is. I don't have the, I'm not cut out for law school. I probably wouldn't pass. I'm not that great at school. And I like being a police officer. I don't want to be a lawyer. Pretty good police officer, though. Yeah, I love being a police officer. It's what I've wanted to do since I was a child. You wouldn't have lawyers if you didn't have police officers. There's nothing to argue. I'd say I like being a police officer.
We don't really need police officers. We got sheriffs.
Oh.
You are a sovereign citizen. You just don't know.
You just confirmed it. You just confirmed it.
We don't really need them.
You need to write that down because you need to figure out what's up.
So what does a sheriff's deputy do that's different than what I do? They enforce criminal law.
Why would we just hire more sheriffs?
What's the difference?
Just about to be, I mean,
A sheriff is elected. Okay. A mayor is elected. A mayor appoints a chief of police. Chief of police hires police officers. What is the difference between a sheriff? A sheriff is elected and appoints sheriff's deputies.
so you're a cop. Okay, I get it.
Hey, Bucky, you got any gold French flags in here?
But what I'm asking you is, what is the difference? What can a sheriff's deputy do that I can't do?
This is what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Yes, please do. Please help me.
What does cop stand for?
It's a short term for copper, and the term is derived from when police officers used to wear copper badges.
Absolutely not.
So what does cop stand for? Tell me.
Constable on patrol.
Okay,
That's a version that some people.
that's a version that some people say.
You can look in the Black's Law Dictionary. It'll tell you the same thing.
The what?
Black's Law Dictionary.
What is that?
The Law Dictionary. You ever read the Law Dictionary?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
I've read.
Charles,
I've
I
read.
need you to come to the realization that you are, in fact, a sovereign citizen. And just go ahead and embrace it.
No.
Because everything you've cited is
And if this
going down the list of
It's-
I am a sovereign
Charles-
citizen.
Charles, if any of
This
this-
thing is, I didn't have to break the window to drag you out of the car.
and Charles, if any of this conversation is offending you, we can stop it. I'm actually quite enjoying it. So if it's bothering you, we'll stop.
Like,
But
that's the only thing missing from sovereign citizen
Man,
bingo.
that don't bother me.
Don't call
What
it
is a motor vehicle?
something driven on the street by a motor, powered by a typically combustion engine. It gets you from point A to point B.
What's the auto trust account?
I don't even know what
You
that is,
driving
Charles.
today, Charles?
Were you driving or traveling?
It's over.
You travel.
It's over with, man.
I'm feeling like we're getting to the travel part.
Over with, man.
This right here is comedy gold. These officers are clearly trolling this man because they have identified him as being a sovereign citizen. Now, whether he wants to admit it or not, he is clearly a sovereign citizen. He even brought up Black's Law Dictionary. You can't have a conversation with a sovereign citizen without them bringing up the trusted old Black's Law Dictionary. And let's not forget that it must be the 4th edition.
Everything I do is framed in the Constitution of the United
Everything
States.
you did today was unconstitutional.
Which part of it was?
Pulling me over.
Okay, how's that unconstitutional?
You had no reason. You had no RAs. You had
Yeah,
no
it is.
reason, articulate suspicion
Yeah.
to pull my car.
I had reasonable suspicion to believe you were driving on a suspended driver's license.
Man, if I go to the Supreme Court, they'll say the same thing.
Actually, they're going to say, look at all these different Supreme Court cases that prove you're
The
wrong.
one they just decided on within the last few years.
Yeah, because people not going up there. Yeah, because you have to go up there and tell them that they can overturn it. It could be overturned.
You're going to go up
It can't be overturned.
Supreme Court
They
wants
can't be there
to-
too.
They can be.
Okay, right.
and tell them to overturn it because you, Charles Hunt.
Oh God, man, why is he doing this?
So what I
Y'all
think,
had 6 months of police training and no law. Why are we talking about law?
you know what I think you're mad about? I think you're mad you got caught with a gun
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have
that you're not allowed to have.
You're a felon.
Yeah.
I'm mad because
I think you-
my civil rights were trampled over.
Which one?
All of them.